If you've watched any of the post-debate news coverage, you've probably been told that Donald Trump lost big time. Harris was the big winner and how it's going to change the outcome of the presidential race. Coming up, I'll tell you why that's all nonsense and what impact the presidential race is having here on California races we're trying to win. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and last night I was on a plane coming back to my home in San Diego, so I wasn't able to watch the debate live. And I'm actually pretty happy that I didn't, because I was able to kind of see some of the social media reactions. I got home just in time to see the pundits take to the air post-debate, saying how bad Trump did. He lost. The presidential race is going to be absolutely shaken up by this. Kamala Harris clearly was the winner. And I was like, okay, well, let me see for myself. No, it was a 2-hour debate. I started watching the first 20 minutes. And if you watch just the first 20 minutes, Trump actually was doing pretty well, made great points. When you watch the remainder of the debate, it was a draw. If you're being honest, it's a draw. I think the reason why people thought Trump lost is that Harris's expectations were so damn low, like super low. And she did better than expectations. She had canned, memorized lines that she just kept delivering, as though she was basically reading from a teleprompter. You had moderators who were completely unfair, but that's to be expected. Fact-checking President Trump at every turn unfairly. And then Trump, I didn't think necessarily it was a bad performance, but he lost out on several opportunities to really deliver the kill shot. But let me tell you this. All the pundits for the last 24 hours are saying, Trump lost. It's devastating to his campaign. Harris won. And I'll explain why this debate has no impact. If anything, it probably still nets positive for Donald Trump. First reason why. Most voters have already decided who they're going to vote for. It's just the nature of our division right now in this country. They've already decided. Debates are not going to change things very much at all, unless there's a catastrophic meltdown like Biden had. In which case some of the undecideds overwhelmingly shifted. But undecideds in this race are very few and far between. We're talking about a couple percentage points at max. Most people have already decided. So the debate, good, bad, indifferent, doesn't change the trajectory of this race. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are really neck and neck. And I would give Trump the edge today for a variety of factors. Polling typically mutes and diminishes his real level of support. We saw that in 2016, saw it in 2022. I believe we're seeing it again today. We also see that a lot of voters are breaking in favor of Trump in demographic groups that, when you look at the whole electorate, if Trump is doing so well or better with African Americans in 2020 and much better with Latinos than 2020, if that holds true and remains the same, remember 2020 was a razor thin margin. We also are looking at these polls in the swing states. I don't really look at the national polling. It's really the swing states that are going to decide the presidency. It's the Electoral College, despite what the liberals want to do there. And Trump, again, seemingly has the edge in each of those states when you look underneath the hood of these polls. So does the debate change any of that? No. There was no kill shot last night. Did Kamala Harris win? No, I would describe her as she didn't lose, and Trump did not deliver the kill shot. I think that really was what this debate was about. The debate was never going to be, Trump's going to win over a bunch of people through his charm and, his argument. People know what he's offering. They've heard him. The question was she going to make a big blunder? And to her credit, the teleprompter in her mind that she memorized all the lines. And with the help of those moderators, she didn't make a big blunder last night. She did make some pretty bad mistakes. I don't think she came across well, and that's not reflected in the coverage, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But she didn't crash and burn, which I guess is success for her, and Trump did not deliver the kill shot, which, again, was a missed opportunity. That's the best way I describe it, is a missed opportunity for him, but again, not terribly catastrophic. The third reason why this debate actually is not bad news for Trump is that I'm looking at some of the truly undecided voters, the ones that may have tuned in for 20 minutes. The reason why I mentioned the 20 minutes at the beginning of the debate and why that was so important is that most of the undecided voters are really not happy with their choices, or else they'd be decided, you know? And the undecided voters don't like to be reminded that there's a presidential election. And so if they did tune in, I think some undecided voters probably did tune in. They probably didn't watch the whole 2 hours. They probably watched maybe the first 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes. That's about it. And those opening questions on the economy, Trump did quite well on. So there's some data out kind of confirming this. First, if you take a look at Fox News, independent voters surprised pollster with reactions to Trump's debate performance. Didn't expect it. What Fox did is they put together an independent voter group. And they did those little dials where they can track their favorable, unfavorable reaction to what someone is saying on the TV screen. And it showed that consistently independent voters were favorably viewing Trump's remarks, particularly on the economy and immigration policies. That's important because abortion may be a big issue for Democrat voters, but it doesn't matter what Trump says on that issue. It's really not going to change people's minds if that's their number one issue. Okay, if that's their number one issue on both sides, it's settled. But on the number one issues of the whole electorate, which tend to be immigration and the economy, Trump is delivering the lines and getting the support. And that's what this poll dial test focus group that Fox News did confirms. Let me also share this article. It's Reuters. Quote, some undecided voters not convinced by Harris after debate with Trump. And Reuters is talking about interviews with 10 people who are unsure or undecided about how they were going to vote going into the debate. They did watch the entire debate, so they made it through all 2 hours. Boy, they should be given a medal for that. 6 afterwards said they would now either vote for Trump or were leaning towards backing him. That's 6 out of 10. So 6 out of 10 undecideds break for Trump. 3, so 1/2 of that amount, back Harris. 1 is still undecided. That is a small sample size. Let me just say it's a small sample size, but it's, again, another indicator. The poll testing, the dial testing that Fox News did with independent voters, as well as Reuters, it's not a slam dunk. But you would hear the media coverage in the last 24 hours and think, oh my gosh, it was a kill shot for Kamala Harris against Trump, and it's over, it's doomsday. How many times did we hear that in 2016 and in 2020? Don't believe the hype. The narrative driving media, thank God they don't have very much influence or credibility anymore. Now, let me bring it back to California, since that's our priority here at Reform California. We're always interested in how do these national trends and races and developments impact our campaigns that we're fighting on in California. Even though we're a blue state, we determine the House majority through California. If we can defend our House seats and pick up a couple more, we can break the supermajority the Democrats have this election. It's a stretch, but it is absolutely doable. There is the fight to save Prop 13 by defeating Prop 5, the statewide initiative that guts Prop 13 by lowering the threshold for approving tax increases from 2/3 to 1/3, 2/3 to 55%. We want to crack down on crime by passing Prop 36. So there are a lot of fights that we can absolutely impact and win. Did the debate change our ability to win those fights? Not in the least. No. In fact, I would argue that, the more euphoria Democratic voters have that, oh, it's in the bag, it's in the bag. Remember that for 2016? The lower the turnout might be for low propensity Democrat voters, because they're like, oh, I'm hearing from CNN and everyone else that, boy, Kamala is, measuring the drapes in the Oval Office and, this thing is over. Turnout is going to be based around enthusiasm. And enthusiasm is a driver of what people think might happen or what stakes they think might be on the table. And if they think that it's already in the bag for Kamala Harris, it could depress turnout, not actually improve it. It could hurt them. But again, I don't think, 8 weeks from now, I'm sure the media is going to be saying, oh my God, you have to show up to vote because she could lose. Because they know what they did in 2016 and it hurt them. And so what they're going to say is it's tight, because they want their side to show up. Even if Trump were 10 points ahead, they'd still cook the polls, in my opinion, to show it's a toss-up race so that they could get better turnout from Democrats to save House seats and Senate seats and other fights, because that's the lying liberal media for you. They're not going to be honest about what's actually going on. So the reason why I wanted to focus mainly on that presidential debate and then bring it back to California is that I'm seeing some of my conservative friends and activists who are kind of mopey today. Oh, Trump lost the debate. They did not lose the debate. He didn't win the debate. There was no kill shot. But no. If anything, it was a draw, or he might have actually come out of it with an advantage. And that's what those Fox News dial tests and Reuters survey of those voters seems to suggest. So I wanted to give you that analysis real quick. I don't typically spend too much time on the national side because we have a lot of fights here in California that we're going to need your help with. Remember, our most important tool in fighting back to flip seats in California and to prevail on our ballot measure fights, both at the local level and the state level, to defeat tax increases, and there are 470 plus tax increases on the ballot, is our plain English voter guide that we put out every election. It's now up and on our website at reformcalifornia.org. Click under Voter Help and click under Voter Guides. Please sign up so that when your ballot arrives a couple days beforehand, we will send you a text and an email with the full voter guide for your area. Just go to the bottom of the reformcalifornia.org website and put in your first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code so that you can get that sent to you for free. It's a service we offer to the voters to make sure they're not bamboozled by deceptive, lying ballot titles that the politicians have put on the ballot. So that's the update. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.